In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good.
At that time Jesus answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes.
Answer thou me. Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare if thou hast understanding. Who hath laid the measures thereof, if thou knowest? Or who hath stressed the line upon it? Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? Or who laid the cornerstone thereof when the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Or who shut up the sea with doors when it brake forth, as if it had issued out of the womb? When I made the cloud the garment thereof, and thick darkness a swaddling band for it, and brake up for it my decreed place, and set bars and doors, and said, Hitherto shalt thou come, but no further. And here shall thy proud waves be stayed.
Hi, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Sorry to be late.
not a problem.
I'm CJ Craig.
Of course you are. I'm Dr. John Fallow, Dr. Cynthia Sales, and Professor Donald Huke.
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 Okay, and you are the Organization of Cartographers for Social Equality.
Well, we're from the OCSE. We have many members.
How many?
4,300 dues-paying members.
What are the dues?
$20 a year for the newsletter.
Let's start.
Wait, I want to see this.
This is Josh Lyman.
Indeed you are.
Josh, this is Dr. Fallow, and
Hi.
his merry men.
Yes.
Should we begin?
Yes. Plain and simple, we'd like President Bartlett to aggressively support legislation that would make it mandatory for every public school in America to teach geography using the Peters projection map instead of the traditional Mercator.
Give me $200 and it's done. Really?
No. Why are we changing maps?
Because, CJ, the Mercator projection has fostered European imperialist attitudes for centuries and created an ethnic bias against the Third World.
Really?
The German cartographer, Mercator, originally designed this map in 1569 as a navigational tool for European sailors. The map enlarges areas at the poles to create straight lines of constant bearing or geographic direction.
So it makes it easier to cross an ocean.
But
Yes.
it distorts the relative size of nations and continents.
Are you saying the map is wrong?
Oh dear, yes. Look at Greenland.
Okay.
Now look at Africa.
Okay.
The two land masses appear to be roughly the same size.
Yes.
Would it blow your mind if I told you that Africa is in reality 14 times larger?
Yes?
Here we have Europe, drawn considerably larger than South America. When it's 6.9 million square miles, South America is almost double the size of Europe's 3.8 million.
Alaska appears 3 times as large as Mexico, when Mexico is larger by 0.1 million square miles.
Germany appears in the middle of the map when it's in the northernmost quarter of the Earth.
Wait. Relative size is one thing, but you're telling me that Germany isn't where we think it is?
Nothing's where you think it is.
Where is it?
I'm glad you asked. The Peters projection.
It has fidelity of axis.
Fidelity of position.
East-west lines are parallel and intersect north-south axes at right angles.
What the hell is that?
It's where you've been living this whole time. Should we continue?
Uh-huh.
The test pilot is solving problems. He's looking for inadequacies or shortcomings or barriers to substantial safety and increasing performance in flight. And his job is to identify those problems and assist in finding a solution. So it's a problem-solving job. And you're always working with the unknowns. And I found that a fascinating part of my career path. I really enjoyed the opportunity to contribute in some way to the solution of problems. The history of humanity has been, slowly increasing the boundaries of knowledge and knowing more and more and more and feel comfortable inside there, but at the edges, it's always going to be a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And to those edges, your first flight, one of your first flights in your B-20.
The history of humanity has been, slowly increasing the boundaries of knowledge and knowing more and more and more and feel comfortable inside there, but at the edges, it's always going to be a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Knowing more and more and feel comfortable inside there, but at the edges, it's always going to be a challenge.
Absolutely. And to those edges, your first flight, one of your first...
There's no way out. There's no way out. There's no way out.
Count a half. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot. Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now. I'm at the foot of the ladder. Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now. I'm at the foot of the ladder. Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now. I'm at the foot of the ladder.
Tang, the drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
Certainly the highlight for the three of us of that decade. We're going to divert a little bit from the format of past press conferences and talk about the things that interested us most, in particular the things that occurred on and about the moon. We will use a number of films and slides which most of you have already seen, and with the intent of pointing out some of the things that we observed on the spot which may not be obvious to those of you who are looking at them here from the surface of Earth.
Today we have with us a group of students among America's best. To you we say, we have only completed a beginning. We leave you much that is undone. There are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers. There are places to go beyond belief. Those challenges are yours. In many fields, not the least of which is space, because there lies human destiny.
Hello, my name is Bailey. This question is for Chris. What was high school like for you?
Well, it was the 1980s, so the music was different, the hairstyle was different, the clothes we wore were different than today, but probably in 5 or 10 years it'll be the same. And in school, I was just like you, probably all of you there. I tried my best. I didn't always succeed, didn't always do well, but I put my best effort into school. Math and science were kind of my favorite subject. I didn't really like English and reading too much, but I've since grown out of that and I enjoy reading now. And I played a lot of sports. And all of that happened in a little town called York, Maine, across the United States from where we're talking to you right now.
Hello, my name is Steve Owen. I'm a teacher here at Riverside Prep. I'd like to ask you about the stress associated with the long periods in the space station. I'd like to ask Karen, what is the training that you get to cope with that stress and related psychological issues?
All of that happened in a little town called York, Maine, across the United States from where we're talking to you right now.
Well, that's a great question. The plan that NASA has is to build a rocket called SLS, which is a heavy lift rocket. It's something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's We only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go.
My name is Kelly Smith, and I work on navigation and guidance for Orion. Orion is NASA's next-generation spacecraft. Built with versatility in mind, it can take astronauts deeper into space than we've ever gone before, to an asteroid or even onto Mars. For these missions, Orion has to be one tough spacecraft, withstanding high speeds, searing temperatures, and extreme radiation. Before we can send astronauts into space on Orion, we have to test all of its systems. And there's only one way to know if we got it right. Fly it in space. We are headed 3,600 miles above Earth. 15 times higher from the planet than the International Space Station. As we get further away from Earth, we'll pass through the Van Allen belts, an area of dangerous radiation. Radiation like this could harm the guidance systems, onboard computers, or other electronics on Orion. Naturally, we have to pass through this danger zone twice, once up and once back. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space. For this flight, it's time to head home.
Any ill effects from the Van Allen radiation belts?
No. Now, I'm not sure we went far enough out to encounter the Van Allen radiation belt. Maybe we did.
When it was pointed out that the flight pattern took him through the belts, he changed his story.
The belts are 1,000 miles to 25,000 miles above the Earth.
Then we went right out through them.
No effects on your cells?
We didn't even know it. I don't think anybody, well, maybe somebody said you went through the radiation belt, but we didn't feel it inside, and we didn't get any, added radiation.
The space shuttle went to 365 miles a few years ago because I worked in news. I saw CNN. They said that the radiation belts surrounding Earth are more dangerous than previously believed because the astronauts saw shooting stars with their eyes closed just when they got within 600.
Radiation belt. We saw shooting stars, but they're not shooting stars with your eyes closed, although they look like it. If you're out in space beyond the Van Allen belt, and probably within the Van Allen belt, and close your eyes and just pay attention. You don't notice it unless you pay attention. Then all of a sudden you'll see a little flash like a shooting star, except it's like that. There goes one this way. Then one just blossoms. And then not that fast. Maybe you wait 3 minutes or 2 minutes and one goes whoosh. And what's happening is cosmic rays are hitting the back of your eye and exciting those sensors in the back of your eye. So that's what you see. And they got high enough apparently to close it. My guess is in Earth orbit, if you closed your eyes and just paid attention, that you would see them.
The first time they were seen was when they went to 365 miles.
Yes.
That's 650 miles below or away from the radiation.
Yeah, see, it's below. My guess if they just did it tonight. But see, if you're just going to sleep or closing your eyes or it's dark, you don't notice them. But if you'll close your eyes and pay attention, which we had an experiment to do, by the way, then you see them whistling by. Not on our mission, by the way, they hadn't been discovered yet. I saw them one day on the moon. It wasn't dark, and it was kind of dark, and I saw this flash of light. And it looked like it was on the moon, but really it wasn't. It was a flash.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. In Cobain, can you hear the spheres singing songs off station to station? And Alderon's not far away, it's Californication.
Anybody hears their pains or their concerns, young people for whom getting involved in politics is as, it's like going to the moon. It ain't gonna happen.
wires on the space station, or the fake space station. You've just been busted, guys. Busted wide open. Your hoax has been exposed. You deceive.
Everyone from NASA is listening to this phone call.
Good. They should know what a horrible son you are.
Okay, Ma. Great talking to you. Gotta go. Well, space is ruined.
Howie?
Hey, there's my beautiful bride. Can you see me?
I can. How are you?
I'm amazing. I mean, this is even better than I dreamed. I look out the window and it's all so unbelievable.
Good for you. I just had a seemingly endless dinner with your mom.
Oh, yeah? That's nice.
It was. Until I found out you never told her we're not going to live with her. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Hey, look, this pen is floating. How crazy is that?
Lopes, you realize you just lied your ass off to your wife and your mother.
I know.
What are you gonna do when you get back to Earth?
Oh, I'm never going back.
Hey, buddy, how's it going up there?
You don't have to shout, Raj. It's not like I'm an astronaut floating around in outer space. Oh, wait, I am.
So, is it everything you hoped it would be?
It's better. I wake up every morning and I just can't believe I'm on this incredible adventure.
Hey, Front Lopes, did you clean the space toilet?
Excuse me, I'm talking to my friends.
You know the rules. New guy scrubs the toilet.
If you do a good job, next time we'll give you a brush.
Funny. We're always giving each other a hard time up here. It's kind of like being in a frat, you know, joking, kidding around, hurting feelings. Okay, my turn. Let me talk to him.
Go ahead.
2311 North Los Robles Avenue, Pasadena, California. 2, International Space Station. Can you read me? Over. Yes, I read you, Sheldon. Copy that. Over.
What are you doing?
I am talking to a man in space. If you don't have the they might as well be at the Coffee Bean over on Lake Street. You're out of your mind, Sheldon. That's a negative. My mother had me tested. Over.
Come on, scrub it up, Loops.
All right. I gotta go. There's a meteor shower.
You want to see a meteor shower? Take a look at what Dimitri just left you in the toilet.
Bye. Over and out. Bye, buddy. Hey, Bernie.
There's my hubby. How's everything going up there?
Oh, it's okay. Space is beautiful. Earth is beautiful. Same old, same old.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Everything's fine.
Howard.
The other astronauts are being mean to me.
No, what are they doing?
Well, like, for instance, the other day when I was asleep, one of the guys went on a spacewalk and glued a big-eyed rubber alien mask to the outside of my window. When I woke up, I screamed for like 9 minutes.
Oh, Howie.
You can see it if you want. It's on YouTube. Google astronaut screams for 9 minutes.
Why don't you stand up to them?
What am I supposed to say?
I don't know. Say, being mean is lame. What's cool is being nice.
Great. I'll do that when I want to be the first guy in space to get a wedgie.
Do you want me to call somebody at NASA?
No. My mom already tried that. It only made things worse. Hey, Bernie, guess what? I stood up to the other astronauts like you said, and I gotta tell you, last night was the first time in a week I got a good night's sleep.
Oh, Howie.
What's wrong? You look upset.
Nope. This is my proud face.
Hey, Bernie.
Hey, how's the little astronauty hottie?
Okay, I guess. Just being cooped up in this tin can for weeks on end is starting to get to me.
Well, hang in there. You just have a couple more days to go and then you'll be home.
I know.
I gotta get back to work. I love you.
Love you too. Hey, Bernie, before you go, can you do something for me?
What do you want me to do?
Okay, here it is. I really miss gravity. Can you drop something so I can watch it fall?
Huey, you're serious? Okay.
Oh, baby, you're killing me.
Hey, I wasn't expecting to hear from you today. Everything okay?
No, not really.
What's wrong?
Well, remember the Soyuz capsule they were sending to bring us home?
Uh-huh.
It's delayed. We're going to be here at least another week, maybe 10 days. It's the Russians, so you don't know. They left dogs up here in the 60s.
Come on, Howard. No one's leaving you up there.
I don't know how much longer I can take this. I can't sleep, and zero gravity is giving me crazy acid reflux. I'm down to my last 3 tums.
You're gonna be fine. You survived that Weight Watchers cruise with your mom. And they ran out of low-fat ice cream on day 2. Just calm down and take a few deep breaths.
Okay. What am I doing? I'm using up all the oxygen. If I die, promise you'll never have sex with another man.
How you doing, Howie? You feeling a little better?
Oh, a lot better. Thanks. One sec. Listen close, I don't have a lot of time. I need you to go to my house. In my bedroom, you'll find a model rocket. I want you to take it and bring it back to your place.
Okay.
Step 2. Build a version roughly 14 stories high. Fill it full of rocket fuel and come get me. I'll leave the door unlocked.
Howie, honey, maybe you should talk to someone. Let them know you're having a little anxiety.
No, I'm fine. No anxiety. We should probably talk in code. From now on, frog is me, sandwich means you, and lemon means rocket. So come on, sandwich, build me a lemon, because Froggy wants to come home.
Hey, Howie, how you feeling?
Better. Much better. The other astronauts held me down, gave me a shot. Attention, people of Earth! Tonight, there will be 2 moons in the sky!
Howie, stop that! NASA's watching this! Put your pants back on!
Howard, goes up into space at the end of season 5 and begins season 6 in the space station for the first few, and progressively starts to get a little more stir-crazy, a little more hirsute, and Mrs. Earth and not his mother, but she tracks him down in space. And he misses his wife and gravity. And I think we pulled it off. I think we earned it, which I guess is sort of rare in a sitcom. It was believable that this little guy is gonna get married and shoot up into space moments after and kind of be there for the duration. So yeah, it was probably, I think, unprecedented.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey, there's my beautiful bride.
How are you?
I'm amazing. I mean, this is even better than I dreamed. Yeah, I look out the window and it's all so unbelievable.
People thought we really went to the space station, and there was a moment where I feel like in the writer's room they discussed, they're like, we could just send Simon, he's small, just shoot him up there, so don't give anyone any ideas.
Hey look, this pen is floating. How crazy is that?
We had to do all of our own slow-mo kind of non-gravity acting, which was a challenge because it's sort of like acting underwater. And then there were special effects. We were on like a pulley and a bicycle seat, and there was some chafing. Still slowly recovering, but otherwise, yeah, it was unlike anything I've really done.
We did it! We're on the ground! We survived!
That was just a parachute. We still have another 6 miles to go.
One of the astronauts in the scenes is actually an astronaut, Mike Massimino. He kept saying what a flashback it was for him and how the room was the same, and even crew members on the set, that it reminded him of crew members there.
The set that we've had, a lot of experts got involved with helping them build that, so it really looks exactly like the real thing. I got a little bit involved with helping them set this up, and quickly they got over with my understanding of it, because they wanted real detail of the spaceship dimensions and exactly where everything looks, and they looked at lots of pictures and video, and they talked to lots of people.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Everything's fine.
Howard.
The other astronauts are being mean to me.
We give him a bit of a hard time on the show, you know, as the way the script's written. And we would certainly give him a hard time if he was really an astronaut, but it would be all in good fun. But I think Howard would make a pretty good astronaut, actually. He's a fun guy. His character is kind of funny. He seems like a good guy. Basically, you want someone that you don't mind hanging around with for really a few years, because you're not always in space with him. You're training with him for a few years. You want to be able to do the job, but you want someone that's going to be fun to be with in a confined area for a while. I haven't heard screaming like I've heard from Howard, so I guess that's probably the biggest difference. He seems to be a little more emotional than what you would expect.
Let's let that last scream go a little longer, if you can.
You want us moving around a little
bit?
bit?
Let's just, you know.
Now I can say I'm not really an astronaut anymore, but I play one on TV. I can say that, but I'm still really an astronaut, so I'm not really sure how to phrase it.
Bernadette said you guys are all sick of me talking about my trip to space. Is that true?
No. You know, the show, when Wolowitz comes back, you know, a lot of people won't necessarily care about him being back. You know, it's like it's everyday life still went on while he was away.
Boy, it's nice to sleep in a bed with gravity again.
Any thoughts on where we should get dinner?
Anywhere but the space station. I was thinking about wearing my NASA jumpsuit as a costume, but then I realized everyone would be like, where's your costume? Why are you wearing your work clothes, you nut? I went to space! Space, 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 space!
Are we clear to jettison that nightgown?
Okay, we need to talk.
But that's, I think, is an accurate depiction. You come back and it's, you know, life went on while you were gone, and now it's your turn to readjust to it when you get back.
2 weeks ago, I was an astronaut.
Yeah, well, now you're a Smurf. Keep walking.
I did not meet Buzz Aldrin, actually, because he had a very strict schedule on Earth here. But I did get to see his moment, and it was poignant.
Quiet, please, gang. Quiet backstage, please. And camera, action.
Here you go. It's a Milky Way. I'm an astronaut. This one's a moon pie. I walked on the moon. What have you done?
All of the astronauts that we've met through the show, you talk about physicality. Watching these guys, there is a worldliness about them that I think is untouchable. And they all have this same astronaut stance, kind of like Buzz Lightyear, I swear to God. They all have just this bravado about life. There was something you can't touch, but you can just feel when you're in their presence, it was a dream.
Well, it takes a lot more preparation to go into space. Years of preparation. And you don't get to retake things. You get one take, and it's got to be right.
Houston, Atlantis, roll program.
Roger, roll, Atlantis.
528 people have been into space. That's a pretty big number.
60 seconds. Lights on.
But only 24 people have reached the moon.
Okay, engine stop.
And of those 24, only 12 walked on the surface of the moon.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
And I was one of the first two. Now, that's a pretty small number.
Spacewalking is the coolest thing that I've ever done. It is an incredible experience. When you first get to space and you look out the window of the shuttle, your view is somewhat constrained. Once I got to spacewalk on the Hubble Space Telescope, I could look and see everything. I could see the Earth in its entirety. I could see the curvature of the Earth. It took up my whole field of view, but I could see it as a gigantic planet right in front of me. For me, that first reaction when I really had a chance to look at it from my spacewalk was just to turn my head, because I felt like, this is too beautiful. I'm not supposed to see this. I was more or less overcome by what I was looking at. And I looked a second time and I started to tear up a little bit from just the beauty that I was seeing. And then I got really worried, because if you get water inside your spacesuit, you can cause trouble. You could short something out. And if I did that, there'd be an investigation and they'd ask me what happened, and I'd have to admit that I was crying. We gave Wolowitz the name Fruit Loops. I was going to get the name Crybaby. So I immediately got myself under control and looked a third time. And on that third time, what went through my mind was, this is what heaven must look like. I really felt I was looking into paradise, viewing our planet. That's how beautiful it is. So there aren't any words to describe it, but that was my emotion looking at it from space.
I've been lucky enough to be into space twice. One in the two-person Gemini spacecraft, and of course Apollo 11, that was given the chance to make an attempted landing, and we were very successful as we landed on the Sea of Tranquility, and were there for about 20 hours outside for about 2.5 hours walking around on the magnificent desolation of the surface of the moon.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
My advice to anyone going into space is, it may turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And since it is such a rare thing, enjoy every moment of it and be curious about everything you see. Think very carefully about everything that you do so that you can remember, come back, and then tell your friends all about the fun it was in space.
Hi, I'm astronaut Rick Searfoss. I flew the space shuttle 3 times, twice as a pilot, once as the commander. Now I'm the chief test pilot for a company called X-Core Aerospace. And we're on the verge of having the ability with our Lynx suborbital space plane to take folks like you into space.
Who wants to go to space?
Who wants to go to
Yes, so Big Bang Theory is sending a fan to space. That I also think is unprecedented. We did that at Comic-Con. We actually had sort of a raffle kind of system.
So I got this right. One of those envelopes has a ticket that gets you into space.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't it be horrible if this was all a joke? We were like, bazinga, and like nothing happened.
I think it was so shocking that people literally were kind of waiting for us to say, okay, just obviously you can't send a person to space. It's true.
Oh my God! We have a winner!
There is a girl who's been training and is going to go up in this sort of commercial, this new program, I'm sort of happy it's not me, because pretending to do that in Burbank is a little less scary than doing it near the sun.
Congratulations. What's your name?
Mercedes.
Mercedes. Great. Well, you're going to have a life-changing experience. I can't wait to fly with you on board Lynx.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Unfortunately, they don't have the means of getting her back, but no.
The Big Bang Theory, going where no sitcom has gone before.
You know, when I grew up, we didn't use the word cool, but today what is cool is to think about space. And one of the things that we've learned to think about is the beginnings of time, the beginnings of the universe that came about with the Big Bang Theory.
Shoot up there. So keep shooting.
All right. Well, then I go through my masters.
Yeah. You got to keep shooting, man. Okay. Well, you can put it on your shoulder. Don't be shy.
Come with me, Buzz.
You really like it?
You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Calling the kettle black, if I ever thought of saying I misrepresented myself.
Away from me.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
Well, you guys are known as the Mythbusters. And there was one guy, I think, what's his name here? Bart Seabrill, who went all the way. He made a film, a documentary film, debunking the whole mission to the moon. It was something, a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. But I think that Buzz Aldrin has to really be one of the real Mythbusters, because when Seabrill approached him, shouting at him, "You're a liar, a coward," let's show the audience a clip of that.
You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Calling the kettle black, if I ever thought of saying I misrepresented myself.
Away from me.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
And there Buzz Aldrin just clocks him on the spot. How did that feel?
He's
for
an honorary Mythbuster for that.
Your thoughts, Adam?
Sorry, Buzz Aldrin's my hero for doing that. It's one thing if you want to believe that there's questions, but to impugn the honesty of someone like Buzz Aldrin, those original Apollo astronauts were an incredible group of really brave men who did an amazing, amazing feat. They were at the business end of a very terrifying endeavor, and we've had the honor to meet a few of them, and yeah. If I ever meet Buzz Aldrin, I haven't met him yet, but if I ever meet him, I'm buying him a drink for that.
Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, it's
it's really amazing when people get so insistent about this kind of thing, and sometimes you just got to pop them one, I guess.
I guess so. Well, the judge agreed with Buzz Aldrin. The guy tried to sue Buzz Aldrin for that punch, and the judge threw it out of the court saying he had it coming.
Astronauts to the moon.